Welcome to the Prince Eats. Here's a quick video for cornbread dressing. Ingredients are in the description. If you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This recipe is simple and easy, so let's jump right into it. This dish incorporates herbs, spices, and hearty flavors which are all complementary. Of course, the star of the show is cornbread. For this recipe, I like to prepare and bake the cornbread a day in advance. Break the cornbread up into medium and large pieces. This allows the cornbread to maintain some of its size as we mix it later on in the recipe. I like to let the cornbread dry out at least a day in advance so that it can better take on the moisture that we'll add later on in the recipe. The second most important ingredient in this dish is Andouille sausage. We'll also be using green pepper. If you don't have andouille, you can use any sausage you prefer. You'll need Italian seasoning, green onion for garnish, which is optional, leeks and celery, sweet onion and sage, it can be fresh or dry, Poblano pepper for mild heat. For spices, this recipe uses paprika, cumin, allspice, and dark chili powder. I also use basil and oregano, chicken stock, and minced garlic. The first stage of this recipe moves fast. You want to get a skillet and bring it up on high heat just until the pan gets hot. Once the pan gets moderately hot, you can go ahead and add some cooking oil. Just a little bit, and enough to cook the andouille sausage. Of all the ingredients in this recipe, the andouille sausage takes the longest to cook, so we'll give it a head start. After a couple minutes, you can go ahead and dump in all the veggies. Give it a stir so that the veggies cook evenly. Add a couple pinches of salt, and only a couple, because after all, we will be using chicken stock. After a couple minutes, or once the veggies get soft, you can go ahead and add the seasonings. Give it a stir until evenly combined. Lastly, you can go ahead and add your garlic. Allow it to cook independently in the center of the pan before you incorporate it into the other veggies. Once that's done, put it to the side and grab your cornbread. Get some melted butter and pour it over the cornbread. Dump in your veggies and sausage mix. Give it a mix until evenly combined. Try not to overmix because after all, we want to keep as many large pieces as possible. As you stir, add approximately 1/3 a cup of chicken stock at a time. Repeat this step of gently stirring and adding chicken stock as necessary. You want the consistency of your cornbread to look similar to this, not too dry and not too wet. Grab your skillet or baking dish. Here I'm using the same skillet that I used to bake the cornbread. Dump your cornbread mixture into your baking pan or skillet. Smooth it out so that the mixture maintains contact with the bottom of the pan. Place it in the oven at 425 for up to 1 hour. Halfway through the baking process, take the dressing out of the oven and give it a mix. Be sure to scrape the entire bottom of the pan. Check the consistency, and if this is the consistency you like, no need to bake any further. If you desire a drier texture, place it back in the oven for approximately 25 minutes. Be sure to pat it down before placing it in the oven. Check periodically until you get a golden brown color. And just like that, you're done. Buttery golden cornbread dressing. If you're using a skillet, scrape the bottom of the pan to ensure you pull up any pieces that might be stuck to the pan. The texture should be semi-soft and crispy, and the flavor should be sweet heat. Visit theprinceeats.com for more simple and easy meal ideas just like this one.